Our topic is language is symbolic. There's only an arbitrary connection between words and the ideas or things to which they refer. Language is relative to the speaker because different sounds put together have different meanings in separate languages and cultures. Even sign language is symbolic and has evolved independently where significant numbers of hearing impaired people are in contact. Language allows communication, which equals progression.
There are issues that arise with language when the indirect relationship between symbols and the things they represent are disconnected. One example of this story is the Tower of Babel in the Bible, where basically God scatters people and doesn't want them to have the same language because they used it against him. Meaning is in people, not in words. Even in the same language, people can grow up learning a certain meaning to a word that differs from another same language speaker learned. This happens to having grown up in different cultures. A man named David Howard said the word niggardly to describe an approach to budgeting because that word means miserly. People took offense because they misunderstood what that word meant in his context. Language is most noticed when there is something wrong, like not understanding another language or even being offended by someone speaking to you in your language, but the interpretation was wrong.
Semantic rules govern the meaning of language as opposed to its structure. This makes language possible for learning the shared meaning of words. Equivocal language is ambiguous language that has two or more equally plausible meanings. This could be like, hey, do you know where the ball is? And the ball could mean either a sports ball or a dancing formal ball. Relative words are those that gain their meaning by comparison. This will be words such as large or small, fast or slow, short or long. This interpretation will be relative to what the person has experienced and identified what this word means to them. Static evaluation is the tendency to view people or relationships as unchanging. This would be an incorrect way of labeling someone due to one experience. If someone has a bad day and lashes out, one could label that person as an angry individual, but overall they might not always be like that.
Abstract language is vague and general rather than concrete and specific, whereas behavior language describes observable behavior and is very specific. Syntactic rules govern the ways symbols can be arranged, as opposed to the meanings of those symbols. When these rules are violated, it becomes apparent, and those that speak this way will be viewed as unintelligent. This can be exemplified by how Yoda speaks in Star Wars. Pragmatic rules are linguistic rules that help communicators understand how messages may be used and interpreted in a given context. This helps avoid misinterpretations so that everyone recognizes the intent meant for the words said.
Okay.
This concludes our video.